Still celebrating Pacific Islanders Month, we keep looking at performers who are a source of inspiration for both Pacific Islanders and those living away from the islands out here in Europe, USA, Australia, New Zealand, and Asia, but especially for those who's never heard of us, and who can blame you? All of this in this week's Pacific Island Roots, plus the American celebration of Pacific Islanders Month of May. Wow, can't wait.
Let's turn on the Pacific Island heat.
To those Pacific Island roots, we'll track your feet through the heat to your island beat.
We are coming for you.
These Pacific Islanders are entertaining the world this week through contact sports from Fiji, PNG, Tonga, Samoa.
I like it.
From the smallest Pacific Island nations in the world, their achievements are never talked about by TV news media or big contact sports nations, even though they are seen daily on our social media feeds.
Absolutely.
And thank God for social media, people with Pacific Island roots, or PIR, especially from these three small Pacific islands, has more chances of playing professional American football, European rugby, and professional wrestling than any other countries in the world.
That is amazing. Really.
Yeah. American NFL football is finally catching up to European World Rugby by picking more players with PIR roots.
Yeah.
We saw it in this year's NFL draft where 12 Pacific Island roots players were picked, and 3 were picked in the first round alone out of 32 picks.
Amazing.
The Detroit Lions knew the risk of losing out to other teams picking PIR players, so they moved up to pick Tonga Island-born Giovanni Manu, who was 6 feet, 7 inches tall, and over 350 pounds in the 4th round.
Unbelievable. That's a big man.
Giovanni only played rugby in Tonga and never played American football. And furthermore, he never went to college in the US.
Wow.
Instead, at the University of British Columbia in Canada, where he played American football.
Man, this story is getting more interesting. This is great.
Call the Detroit move the Jordan Mailata effect. Jordan, who is a 6 feet 8 inches tall, Pacific Island roots from Samoa, born in Australia. Mailata played rugby league only in Australia and only learned American football a few months before being drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles in the last round, the 7th round, of the 2018 draft.
That's unbelievable.
In 2021, Mailata signed a 4-year, $64 million American dollar contract with $40.85 million guaranteed. On April 4th of this year, 2024, Mailata signed a 3-year, $65 million extension that includes $48 million guaranteed.
Man. Wow. Continue.
Detroit also drafted another PIR with Tongan roots player from Utah, Sione Vaki, in the 4th round that many football experts were probably scratching their heads. Of course, these NFL experts must be reminded of how many of them missed out on another PIR player from the same state in last year's Los Angeles Rams rookie sensation and record-breaking wide receiver Puka Nakua from BYU.
Oh, he was unbelievable. Really, he is very good.
Yeah. Detroit knows a thing or two about Pacific Island root players, since they have one of the best offensive linemen in the business with Penei Sewell,
Very true.
Samoa, a first-round pick, number 7 from the 2021 draft.
Man, that is another mountain. Very good. Pro, amazing.
All these Pacific Island root players have 2 things in common: physicality and balance.
Oh yeah, I believe that.
Maybe it's growing up in an atmosphere that allows Mother Nature to help them feel and give their muscles time to develop naturally without restrictions.
Wow.
In this case, playing barefoot on grass or on sand. Some get their first pair of shoes as teenagers after playing mostly without it growing up.
Wow.
A reminder of Pelé, the greatest soccer player of all time, who learned the game playing without shoes as a child into his teen years.
No, that is very true. I believe you on that one. That is very good.
We see this on the island of Fiji, with the Rugby Sevens as the only team in the world to have 2 Olympic gold medals. We marvel at the quality of this tiny nation producing world-class athletes.
Wow. Yeah.
One could point to their method of training, barefoot in the sand, as norm for the Fijians and other Pacific Island teams with limited resources compared to their European and American counterparts.
Wow. Very true.
A benefit might be is that these PIR players recover quicker from injuries. Maybe their bones are built differently.
Wow.
But this type of questions still have to be answered. There are proofs of Pacific Island route players in the NFL that showed to function normally on the field after injuries,
Wow.
like Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa.
Incredible.
Tua had a devastating hip injury in college in Alabama in 2019 before being drafted 5th in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft.
Amazing.
Japan's sumo wrestler from Tonga, ʻUliʻuli Fifita, suffered an incredible ankle injury during a match that would have ended many careers, but recovered faster than normal and returned to the sumo ring. He even continued as a WWE, former WWF, professional wrestler after his sumo career ended.
Wow. I like that, man. That is always good to hear.
Yeah. This year, a talented rugby and football Pacific Island route player was the first defensive player picked in the NFL draft.
That was cool.
Picked by the Indianapolis Colts in 6 feet 5 inches tall defensive end Laiatu Latu from UCLA.
Yeah.
He was told to retire from football at the University of Washington due to a neck injury and the operation that followed. Latu chose to get a second doctor's opinion and transferred to UCLA.
I'm glad he did that because he was winning every award out there for a defensive player. Amazing All-American.
So part of this video is just to show those who do not really know about Pacific Islanders, especially out here in Europe and parts of America. As one can clearly see from this self-made map, all 3 or 4 of these Pacific Island states' population combined is still smaller than that of the 50 states of America in the Aloha state of Hawaii.
Incredible.
They are talents that spread around the world, and it's difficult to explain how they are doing this.
Wow. I'm just amazed. That's all I can say.
Appreciating their continued success through adversity is probably what makes these Pacific Islanders the most loved athletes in the sports they do represent. Government and countries, sports clubs, and influential journalists help write new rules to lure these talented but financially poor Pacific Island route players, making sure that the new branding technique of New Pacific Island Routes Bloodline will benefit new countries.
Oh, man, good job, man.
Thanks, man.
It was pretty long. It's 9 minutes, man. Unbelievable, but good. I like it.
Well, I was trying to keep it short, but man, a lot of things happen. I mean, this here in Europe,
that is
over
right.
in Munich, here in Germany,
Yeah.
Papua New Guinea and Tonga's Ikaretahi are taking part in this
Rugby sevens.
series, Rugby 7 series.
Yeah.
And I'll probably put the scores up next time we do it. But yeah, I mean, they're everywhere. They're busy. And even like on Friday,
Yeah.
because we try to make sure that the content goes up before, but we're getting there. We're getting closer.
Yeah. Is that the Moana Pasifika against the Hurricanes?
Yeah, and you know, the Hurricanes beat the Moana Pasifika 32-24 in New Zealand, you know. But over there, like hours later, over in Fiji. The Fijian Drua
right.
played against the Queensland Reds from Australia.
Yeah.
And they played in Fiji.
Yeah,
I mean,
super
the
rugby.
place was packed, and the audience.
Oh.
It was it looked like it was sold out, and
Yeah, I
the
think it
atmosphere
was
was
too.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the Drua ended up winning 28-19.
Oh.
So I love seeing all these teams playing,
Oh yeah.
going to
definitely.
the islands and performing there, because there's a market for it, you know.
Oh yeah. Social media is helping too. You know?
Yeah, and it's
I love it. I love it.
it's nice to see these players, you know, with roots from the islands,
Yeah.
being able to have a chance to actually go out there and perform and play at a high level.
Opportunity.
And
Yeah.
they're getting it,
Yeah.
but you know, they're spread all over the world.
Yeah.
In fact, when I was watching the game there, all of a sudden, in halftime, I guess they had a performer,
Oh yeah.
Paulini
Yeah,
from Australia, performing during the halftime in Fiji.
Yeah.
She won, I guess, maybe the Australian Idol or something.
Yeah. A while
And she
back.
performed, but
Yeah.
you know, during that whole thing, a break, suddenly I saw like a commercial with Tama on it, and this is in Fiji with WWE wrestling. You know,
Yeah.
how crazy is that?
It is streaming, of course. You know, it's
Yeah.
very popular on that part of the world. You
Yes,
know,
yes.
Tamatonga and WWE.
And the Bloodline, man, really. I mean, you know, and then the Bloodline was already on Friday night, and that was an incredible match, you know. I mean, with Tamatonga winning, and he's facing Randy Orton in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia,
That is
this
right.
coming weekend. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
how cool is that?
Yeah,
You know?
King of the Ring, King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia on the
Yeah.
25th.
That's true, man.
But at least the semifinals.
Yeah. So, you know, and the Bloodline is there with Solo Sikoa, and of course with Tonga Loa.
the Bloodline.
And it's interesting to see what happens, you know.
Paul Heyman. Yeah.
So there's a lot, and we'll talk about more of it, but I'm glad we had this time just to
Oh, yeah.
explain to people the
That's cool.
talent of these Pacific Island players with roots,
Athletes,
you know,
yeah,
out
yeah.
there.
Yeah. And sorry, we got to cut content very short.
That's
but
true.
We're getting better at making
Yeah,
more content.
absolutely.
With, more of our things here.
Yeah, and
Till
we're
our next time.
Yeah, and we're spreading it out, and we're doing more for just to be proud of our people, and you know, and the bask in the success that they are having, and thanks again. I hope if you're here for the first time, make sure you subscribe and pass on our content, and we'll see you on the next time.